Now, the pressure is on for undecided House members to declare whether they are for or against impeaching President Trump.
But with impeachment very likely to happen, attention is starting to shift to the president's Senate trial. KCAL 9 political reporter Randy Page is here with the latest. Randy.
This is so tough for a lot of representatives who are in purple districts, and they're getting a lot of boos and cheers, as you will see in a second. You know, it's an agonizing decision for these people, but it is becoming more clear. With an impeachment trial in the Senate becoming more certain, there is a question about exactly what that trial would look like. While today, more Democrats from purple districts are saying they will vote to impeach. Cheers gave way to jeers in Rochester today, where first-term Democratic Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, in a district President Trump won by 7 points, tried to explain why she has decided to vote yes.
While we may not agree, I hope you believe me when I tell you that I made this decision out of principle and out of a duty to protect and defend the Constitution. I feel that in my bones, and I will stick to that regardless of what it does to me politically, because this is bigger than politics.
Slotkin and other freshman Democrats in purple districts are finding themselves in the whirling vortex between red and blue, where there is no middle ground, and any decision is the wrong decision, depending on which side of the political divide their constituent is on. One by one,
I will vote yes.
A number of Democratic House members joined Slotkin today in announcing their decision to impeach.
This is about using our national security for his own personal political benefit.
Also today, 2 House Democrats announced they will vote no. Minnesota's Colin Peterson.
I just don't agree with this.
And New Jersey's Jeff Van Drew, who's not only voting no on impeachment, he may also be switching sides from Democrat to Republican.
Assuming the articles are adopted by the House, the Senate will serve as a court of impeachment.
But what sort of court will it be? Tonight, Senate leaders from both sides offer far different opinions, beginning with the issue of witnesses.
What is the president hiding?
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer sent a letter to Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, proposing Chief Justice John Roberts, who will preside over the trial, issue subpoenas to 4 administration officials, including Acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, former National Security Advisor John Bolton, Robert Blair, Senior Advisor to Mulvaney, and Michael Duffy, Director of National Security at the Office of Management and Budget.
These 4 witnesses have direct knowledge of the facts, particularly in regard to the delay in the aid to Ukraine.
But for that to happen, a majority of the senators would have to support the request. That means Democrats would have to convince at least 4 Republican senators to go along with them. Some Republican lawmakers would like to see Joe and Hunter Biden and the unnamed whistleblower compelled to testify.
If the president wants to call witnesses, if the president wants to call Hunter Biden or wants to call the whistleblower, the Senate should allow the president to do so.
I haven't seen a single bit, a scintilla of evidence that Hunter Biden would add anything other than show, circus, distraction.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told Fox News last week he'll go along with whatever the president's lawyers want.
Everything I do during this, I'm coordinating with White House counsel. There will be no difference between the president's position and our position as to how to handle this. We all know how it's going to end. There's no chance the president's going to be removed from office.
On Wednesday, that's the day after tomorrow, the entire House will vote on whether or not to impeach the president. And it appears the Democrats will easily get a majority of lawmakers to vote aye.